So we got 10 people in the office in our reception, and we asked them to come in. We'll give you $100. We're doing a little bit of research. You drink coffee, take your cash and leave. And 10 went, brilliant, I'll be there. What they didn't know, we had them wired up to the head and the chest, is there was 2 doctors, 2 nurses, 2 mechanics, 2 road sweepers. So we teamed them up. When a road sweeper spoke to a surgeon, it went up by about 2%. They had nothing in common. Okay. When a surgeon spoke to a surgeon or a mechanic spoke to a mechanic, it went up to about 22%. We went in the room, we asked everybody to forget what they did for a living and be human beings for like 20 minutes. When a mechanic spoke to a surgeon and they were both being authentic, it spiked up to 100%.
Wow.
So if you're authentic coming into our office looking for a job, the degrees on the back of the wall doesn't mean anything in my industry. Have you been through it? Do you have a passion?
Welcome to Well Coached, a podcast about how people, sales, profit, and self can transform your business. I'm your host, Chris Weinberg, and I have helped hundreds of entrepreneurs get into their highest productivity zone and become corporate enough to succeed. Let's get into today's episode. Hey team, welcome back to the Well Coached podcast, where we believe that corporate enough means building a business that serves your purpose and your people. Today's guest is someone whose story is truly remarkable. We have Dr. Robb Kelly. Once homeless on the streets of Manchester, Robb has transformed his life through neuroscience, music, faith, and a whole bunch of grit and determination. Today, he's the founder of Robb Kelly Group. They are a telehealth neuroscience coaching company with, check this out, a staggering 97% success rate in addiction recovery. And I believe I said that right, 97% success rate in addiction recovery. He's been called the Gordon Ramsay of Recovery, and trust me, he brings that same passion to everything that he touches. You're going to love hearing this guy's story. We're going to dive into how he built his results-driven company rooted in personal transformation and what entrepreneurs can learn from neuroscience and why success always starts with healing yourself first. Robb, how'd I do?
Yeah, amazing, man. Thanks, Chris. That's you hit the nail on the head. You know, it's what we do. We love it. We're changing lives. We're building entrepreneurs. We're saving alcoholics, addicts, dementia, everything you can mention. Psych. We got into it. First of all, it was alcohol and drugs because of my past. But as we found out more about the brain, we probably spent $1.5 million on research and trials and tests. We don't believe anybody else's research. We do it ourselves. And that the program can be tweaked for entrepreneurs, for business guys, podcasters, people who want to build empires. I mean, it just goes on and on. The more we know about the brain, the more we know that it's no longer hardwired, that, we can move and develop neuron pathways and get rid of the bad neural pathways along with the other parts of the brain that needs to heal. And 100% success rate, man. We stand by. If you come to us and go, hey, I don't suffer from alcoholism, Robb, but I want to build, a company and we want to do this, I'll give you a time limit and a price. And if we don't do that with you, we'll refund your money. Nobody in the world does that. I know, nobody. It's like, put your money where your mouth is, because my parents didn't have a lot of money, but what they did, they spent on me trying to get well in silly treatment centers. It was teach me about nothing. I've seen so many people die. Let's forget about alcoholics and addicts. People die because they're not reaching their true potential. And it can be done. And if you don't think it can, I want to apologize to you, because somebody's put that there. It's just not true.
Wow. That's wonderful. Wonderful opening salvo, and we're going to dive into all of it. And let's start in this people section a little bit. You comment that addiction is a family disease, which is so interesting. And how does that perspective shape the way that you coach and build teams and serve your clients?
So as a psychologist, I knew there was something different. So on a normal treatment center, you'd get the family weekend. The family would come in, like, let's say the guy's in, mom would come in with the kids and they'd bash their dad. You did this, you always. It's not the way to do it. That's not the family systems we do. So in every relationship, if there is depression, alcohol addiction, the wife goes through her own PTSD. And we get all the time like, hey, it's not my problem, it's his problem. Answer me one question, Mrs. Smith. Why do you allow your husband to come home 2 or 3 times a week drunk and get into a fist fight with you in front of the children? You're suffering from PTSD. So what we found over the first year we was trialing this, about 6 years ago, is when the family join with, because we won't take the alcoholic if the wife doesn't want to come on, we won't take him.
Okay.
When the wife and kids or whatever joined the alcoholic's journey, doing their own stuff, working on their own trauma, the success rate of that person goes up by 42% alone, period.
Wow.
And that's when you see that the high, it's impossible. Well, we've been doing it for 25 years. It's not impossible, and people don't understand it. It's like there's PTSD in that house. So Chris, we went one further. We tested a wife, an alcoholic, dysfunctional, violent house. And we tested some of our guys that I knew coming back from Afghanistan, and the PTSD was exactly the same.
Man, that must have been an aha moment.
Oh, we're the only guys doing this because nobody wants to get anybody well, Chris. The food industry gets us sick and the pharmaceutical companies keep us sick. We all know that. So we're doing alternative medicine, alternative therapy, alternative, research into this. And it's the truth. It's like, unless you have severe brain damage, there's nothing that you can actually not achieve. I mean, there's literally nothing, but you have to understand what happens here, especially in the family dysfunctional house. And let's go one step further on that for a second. If a young child, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, is growing up in the house where dad gets drunk most nights, he comes home, him and mom get into a physical fist fight, she's seen this, and then they go to bed, and the next morning they get up, and the wife says, oh, I love you, and he said, oh, I love you too, I'm sorry about last night. What the child learns is, when I grow up, what happens is love equals violence equals love. And she will go out and attract the same guy because of the mind is power, you can't touch it, feel it, but it contacts other power energies the same as ours. She'll actually end up with the father. She'll end up with the guy that ends up beating her and stuff like that. To the extent, if she goes out and meets a good guy, she'll self-sabotage that because it doesn't feel right.
So that old saying about people tend to marry one of their parents is pretty true.
100% true. It's called enmeshment and obviously learned behavior from parents. And people ask me all the time, if I do this, will it affect my child? Everything you do in the household or outside, every argument, everything in front of your child, she will develop that. It's called the basal ganglia. She'll pick up that action and believe it to be true. So we came up with a saying that most people are kind of, oh, that's a bit strong. But listen, I'm sick of people watching people die in this world. Anything less than nurturing as a child is child abuse. Wow. So if you're allowing your kid to come home 8, 9, 10, 11 years old and stick him in his bedroom to play video games for 5 hours before he goes to bed, I'm going to show you a future addict.
That clear.
That clear. I mean, we're the guys that are known for no messing around. You see, when you want to come on, whether you're a podcaster or whether you're an alcoholic, you have to pass an assessment. We've turned millions of people down, rock stars. No, if you're not ready, I'm not interested in you. That's it. I just, if the wife won't come on or the husband, I'm not interested in you. See, this is black and white. People think that when they come here and they got the big checkbook that I'm going to sign him, like any treatment center, hey, can I come down? Yeah, what's your insurance? No, if you don't pass the assessment, you don't come on. And well, I've just paid. I don't give a shit what you've paid. In actual fact, let me be clear with you. I don't care whether your son or husband comes on or not. I really don't care. Now, if he does, then it's our problem and we'll fix it 100%. We can cure addiction, no problems. But if he isn't, don't think your money's going to buy you way in here, because it doesn't. It never has done in the years we've been doing this, because I can't chase the money because I'll end up back on the streets.
What does passing the assessment mean? Does that mean the whole family's all in, or is there more to it than that? Or how does someone get the privilege of getting your help?
So most of our stuff is word of mouth. We don't advertise or nothing. So somebody will call and say, Johnny referred me. We'll bring, say, let's say it's man and wife. We'll bring man and wife down here. And sorry guys, I keep blaming you for being alcoholic, but it's just easier to explain. So we bring the man and wife in together and I chat to them. And then we put the wife in the waiting room, or a child, I'd say 18, 19-year-old, living in the same house. They have to join in as well. And then we'll sit with the guy, the patient, and we'll ask him all sorts of crazy stuff. And I have gone to the lengths. That's why Texas psychology license will be, oh God, here he goes again. But I know, we had a kid in Highland Park, our office is in Highland Park, and he didn't want to get well. His parents were billionaires, so he didn't want to get well. So I said to him during our time at quick assessment, I have some Percocet in my drawer that I confiscated off somebody else. This was Friday. What if we start Monday? We can both take one of the pills now, and then we're all clean Monday. Oh my God, that would be awesome. I walk out to the parents and go, yeah, it's not ready. We know whether you're ready. We know whether you're done, or we know whether you're all in. If you were an entrepreneur trying to build a business, we know if you're all in. There's questions and tests and all sorts of subliminal messaging we're using during that assessment. And if you pass all of that, then we talk further about cost and stuff like that, because it's an hour a day, mostly on telehealth, though we have 5 offices around the world. 1 hour a day, every day, no Christmas, birthdays, New Year's off for 90 days. You've got homework, and it's a big, big deal when you come here. Me and my people, me and my staff in this office as well, we'll follow you, man. If you're saying you're going to this and we think you're not, you're going to relapse, or we will trace you and find out, and we'll come and drag you out of that place. This is not a game. This is just not a game. And there's 2 kinds of people in this world, Chris. I'm sure you know. The people that love you for who you are, and the people that want to be you. We're not playing games. We don't do that jealous stuff. We don't do that, oh, look at him. I don't care what you think about me, first of all. Save your breath. And we're guaranteeing 100% that we'll get you well.
Do people have to hit rock bottom before they're ready for you, or are people able to recognize the need before they hit rock bottom and make it through the assessment process?
It's a great question, Chris. The answer is no. And one of the reasons we still what we do today is I picked a girl up. I knew the family. And we picked her up from a 5-star hotel, and she was drinking $500 bottles of champagne. That was her rock bottom. Okay. Right there. So rather than going down to rock bottom, which most people think losing the house, being homeless, like I had to do, the rock bottom is psychological. When you're done, you've got nowhere else to turn. I died twice on the streets in England. When you get to that point, whether you've got $1 billion or whether you've got nothing, it's that turning point of I can't do this on my own anymore, or I don't want to. Unfortunately, many of us drink ourselves into oblivion and pass away, and drug overdoses. They're never reported properly. Again, we did our research. We were allowed to go into Richardson Hospital in Dallas, Texas, and find out on a Friday and Saturday how many people come through the door had alcohol or drugs in the system. So out of 100% on a Friday and Saturday night, 95% of patients that came into the emergency room had alcohol or drugs inside them. Out of the 95%, 18% was kept overnight. Out of the 18%, 2% died. That 2% wasn't reported as he's an alcoholic, he drank in. Liver failure, car crash, anything you can to stay away. So the figures that we hear today are not correct. They are nowhere near the true figures of how alcohol and drugs, depression are killing human beings today.
Oh, you've got a highly specialized team that's helping you with this journey. What do you look for when you're hiring people to help other people transform their lives? How does someone become a team member of yours?
I've been in the industry for 30 years. I've done thousands and thousands and thousands of podcasts, and nobody's ever asked me that question. What a great question, Chris. Wow.
Thanks, Rob.
Courtney told me, When you meet Chris, I'm telling you, he's special. I'm like, oh my God, yes. So we truly believe that if you have suffered from alcoholism and addiction, you can't work with anybody that hasn't suffered from alcoholism and addiction. All my staff, so we have Dallas, San Antonio, Manchester, London, Switzerland, Spain, is the office. Everybody is a recovered alcoholic, depressive, drug addict. Every one of them's been through what we're teaching today. So that's a number one when you come in. And just passion, man, passion. You know, you can't beat two things in this world, passion and authenticity. Authenticity being a little bit higher. So we got 10 people in the office in our reception, and we asked them to come in. We'll give you $100. We're doing a little bit of research. You drink coffee, take your cash and leave. And 10 went, brilliant, I'll be there. What they didn't know, we had them wired up to the head and the chest, is there was 2 doctors, 2 nurses, 2 mechanics, 2 road sweepers. So we teamed them up. When a road sweeper spoke to a surgeon, it went up by about 2%. They had nothing in common, okay? When a surgeon spoke to a surgeon or a mechanic spoke to a mechanic, it went up to about 22%. We went in the room, we asked everybody to forget what they did for a living and be human beings for like 20 minutes. When a mechanic spoke to a surgeon and they were both being authentic, it spiked up to 100%.
Wow.
So if you're authentic coming into our office looking for a job or looking to help out in the nonprofit or the breath box, whatever it is, I have 4 or 5 companies, authenticity is what we're looking for. The degrees on the back of the wall doesn't mean anything in my industry. Have you been through it? Do you have a passion? If I advertise a position, Chris, and the first question you ask is how much does he pay, you're not our guys. Right. You're not our guys, man. Mm-hmm. I take care of all my stuff very, very well. There's very little turnover here because if you chase the money, you're never going to help the patient, man. We will be blessed when the time is to be blessed. And after 11,000 patients and 64 years old, people say, hey, why don't you retire? I will never retire. Because I believe in God, Chris. I don't know about you. And I have nice things. I have, insanely expensive stuff around me that I can buy because I earn a lot of money. That we give 25% of our annual salary back into the community. I know one question, when I get to heaven and St. Peter walks me through to God, do you know what he isn't going to ask me? How much was that house that you lived in? How much was that? He's going to ask me one thing. How many people did you help? And I want a big number. So I will stay passionate and never retire.
Yeah, that's hear that. That's such a good point. And we talk about it on this podcast so much that if you're in your zone of excellence, retirement, why would you retire? You're helping people, you have a purpose. People die who retire.
Do you know what? That's what my dad said, Chris. The day you retire is the day you die.
Yeah.
That's what he always used to tell me. If you're not blessing somebody daily, if you're not making somebody's day, complimenting, lifting people on a daily basis, that's what gets me out of bed, including my wife and the dogs all get compliments before I leave the house. If you're not doing that, go drink.
Right.
Because you'd have no use to another human being. You think we've come all this way? I wanted the TV, I wanted the books, and everything, so I have a bigger platform. That's what I needed it for. And God gave me all that. And we tied neuroscience into some kind of spirituality, so you don't have to choose one or the other. They both work together. And I want, if there's a tombstone, I don't know what, but I want on my tombstone, maybe he did his best. Or he tried to help others, or something like that. I never go on a podcast and go, hey, here's my book. Oh, come on. I'm not here for that. I'm here if me and you, Chris, can save a life today. That's the job done, man. Job done.
Yeah. Hey team, are you looking to elevate your golf game year-round? Nashville City Golf, located within the Nashville City Club at 200 2nd Avenue South, offers a premier indoor golfing experience right in the heart of downtown. With over 350 real-world courses available on state-of-the-art TrackMan.io simulators, you can challenge yourself on some of the world's most renowned fairways without leaving the city. Whether you're a seasoned golfer or just starting out, our facility caters to all skill levels. Features of the club include TrackMan.io performance tracking, an adjustable swing stage, indoor putting, and great upscale lounge and food and beverage, as well as PGA instruction right on site. Nashville City Golf isn't just about swinging a club, it's about experiencing a revolution in golf practice and entertainment. Our cutting-edge features elevate your game and create an unforgettable experience. We offer flexible membership options to suit your needs, as well as booking for an individual sessions. Ready to tee off? Visit NashvilleCityGolf.com to learn more about memberships, book a session, or schedule a lesson with one of our PGA instructors. Elevate your game at Nashville City Golf, where the best of golf meets the best of Nashville. We talked about the team members and how folks come to you. You also work with this wide spectrum of clients, from everyday professionals to celebrities. Do you customize, or how do you customize your approach to keep trust and humanity at the core with such a wide variety of people that you see? Is it one approach for everybody, or do you meet people where they are? Do you have to flex based on who's in front of you?
Yes, and that's not celebrity or poor people. That is psychological, where they are. So we don't have playbooks. We know where therapists can go, we're on page 7 today, and this is what we're going to discuss today. We don't do that. The way you show up with in-person or telehealth is how that session will go. And we have 9D and stuff like online, which is just a game changer when it comes to psychological neural pathways. So yeah, it's kind of the same program. So everybody gets treated the same. I don't care if you're a celebrity or you are a garbage collector, you all get treated the same. Do as I do as I say, or leave. And I've thrown many people out. The funny story I can tell you, if I mention any celebrities, guys, I've got full permission in writing. We laugh about it. But I went to the airport when I first came here to pick up Eddie Van Halen. I have no idea who he is. He's a rock star, that's all I know. I'm stood in the airport waiting for him, and he comes up to me. Now I've got pink trousers on, blue glasses, orange shoes, so he could see me a mile off. And he says, "You Dr. Robb?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm Eddie." I said, "Oh, good to meet you, man." And we shook hands, and he stopped and he said, "Shouldn't this be the other way around?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Shouldn't you be recognizing me?" I said, "Yeah, that's not going to work for me." And I walked off. And he followed me and apologized, and what a great guy, man. We used to laugh about that time and time again.
That's awesome.
I don't get fazed with that stuff. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Is your heart in the right place? Are you authentic? And are you ready to get to work? Let's change your life. Let's change your life to 100%. Most people walk around about 45% of the capability and capacity. Let's get it to 100%. Well, that's not possible. Says who? Who's making these rules up? I don't like the rules. Let's make it 100%.
Most people walk around in 45% of their capacity.
Yes.
Wow, that is quite a statement.
It's a shame as well. You see it every day, even entrepreneurs like, well, I've done 600,000. My question is, why haven't you done 1 million? Well, and you see all the insecurities coming out. It's like we see it every single day of people not living to their potential because of childhood trauma and stuff that's happened to them. Childhood trauma is the gateway drug. Everybody suffers from it. People think they don't. But it's affecting your daily life today. If you can't keep relationships, if you can't get that job you want, create that empire, be that the guy, get the girl, all that stuff. If you can't do that, it goes directly in a correlation back to childhood trauma. Something's happened here that's affecting you here. And unless you go back, uncover, discover, discard of the childhood trauma, you are never going to be free. That's always going to get you tied up.
So we all have everybody's got it to some degree. Is that correct?
Yes. Everybody's got it to some degree, yeah. And those people that say they have not are probably worse because they've hid it all away. We've been to $50 million houses and everything's prim and proper and I don't know. And we had this 18-year-old kid, the son of the family, and he's no childhood trauma. And we knew that everybody does. So we asked him, I'll get a new Bentley for my 17th birthday, da-da-da. And I said, brilliant. So what's your relationship with mom and dad? So it turned out that dad's working a lot. So his time with father was between 2 and 3 o'clock on a Sunday. Oh. And mother really didn't take any notice. The nannies looked after him because she's wasted every day taking drugs and prescription drugs. So there's the abandonment. There's the shame. There's all the stuff we go through that dictates our personality as we grow up. So so the basal ganglia is a part of the brain. It's a repetition, strengthened, confirms part of the brain. So if you're driving a car, your first lesson is awkward. The car feels like a bus, But after a few months, you pass your test. Now you can reverse down the driveway, on the phone to your mom, waving at the girlfriend, all at the same time. That's because that repetition, basal ganglia, has become a working part of the mind. We don't have to think about it. So that happens with, especially alcoholics. So if you imagine a clock face, 12 o'clock, everything's going good. 10 after we relapse. 20 after we try and get sober. 1:30 the wife lets us back in the house. 22, we get that job or that's something amazing. And 10 to we self-sabotage and scrub it all down. And we see this with non-alcoholics, non-depressed people. It's just the way. So what happens is you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Guys, there's no shoe. Well, if only they found out who I really was. And, because I'll tell you something now, if you don't think you're good enough and you don't think you can achieve anything you want to achieve, let's go to court tomorrow. You bring all the evidence that you cannot make it, and I'll bring all the evidence that you can make it. And the judge is going to throw you out of court. He might even charge you with contempt of court for wasting the court's time. That's how serious and easy it is.
Wow. What about any advice for leaders that are trying to build emotionally intelligent, trauma-informed teams? Any advice for leaders like that? They want to go do the right thing. They want to have emotionally intelligent teams and trauma-informed teams, but how do they do that?
Yeah. I mean, we need more leaders. I think we both know that, Chris, and we need to stand up and be leaders. That's the first thing I'll say around that. You've got to understand personalities, and you've got to understand how the brain works around certain circumstances and illnesses and traits and all that stuff. So when we talk about the anterior cingulate cortex, there is conflict, it's feeling torn about stuff. If that stuff isn't cleared up, you're never going to have that employee or friend or team member that, again, going back to the acting at 100% success rate. So I tell team leaders, we work with Keller Williams, we work with, lots of big sales guys who are teaching their team or church team that you have to come and do the 9D subliminal messaging. It's headphones and masks. You need to come and do the neuro-linguistic program. You need to come and do the brain spotting. And once you are there, then you are in a place to teach that. Because when leaders stand up, bullshit walks out, first of all. So the idea of knowing, being compassionate about what people are going through, but get them excited about stuff. And a lot of it is subliminal. We are masters at subliminal messaging people and voice control. And the fact that I could plant 6 words in your head right now, you have no idea, but you will follow them over the next couple of days and do the act because we've planted it. And leaders need to be in a position where they believe in themselves and have found their identity. That's the big one in the world. Do you know your identity and worth? And people call me up. Dr. Robb, I've just, I'm starting to practice, how much should I charge? I don't know. My answer pisses them off because I say the same thing. How much are you worth? And they go, I do it all the time with waitresses when I go out. I get the thing and tip. The tip, what should I put there? It's usually like 10, 20. How much are you worth? Should I put that? And they cry and they stumble and I stay there. How much are you worth? How much am I writing on that tip line? You go like $50, brilliant, $50, there you go. But you've changed their life, you've changed the identity, you've changed the worth of that person. That every single person, I don't care if you sweep the toilets or you're the manager of the pub, it makes no difference to me. I can grab your attention. I can make you feel like $1 million in 5 minutes. We say, hey, you don't believe it? Come down for one session. If I don't change your life in one session, I'll refund your money and go away. I'm no good to you. So once you buy into you, other people are going to buy into you. And there may be 6 or 7 and 10 leaders, but we need to stand up and recognize our identity and our value in life. And a lot of people, I'm going to put a 90% range on that. A lot of people don't know that. They think they do, but we are very powerful human beings. We can do anything we want. Now, I hate politics. I'm not into politics. I don't care about it. And just join me for a second, guys. first term, 6, 7, I don't know how long ago it was. We had a freaking businessman running the country with no political experience whatsoever. Don't dare tell me you can't achieve your dreams. Right. It's not true, guys. Somebody's put that there.
Right. Good stuff, Doc. Good stuff. Let's talk about your approach, of attracting clients. You're not selling coaching. You're selling change. And how do you frame what you're offering clients or investors who may be skeptical of neuroscience coaching? I live in Nashville, and I'm fortunate enough to work with a lot of artists. And so the neuroscience thing has come around, right? Yeah. It's been around. But for uninformed people, and that would include me not too long ago, how do we start understanding how to embrace it and not be skeptical of it?
You've got to do it. You've got to understand. You've got to understand the new science. So epigenetics, neuroscience, and quantum physics play a huge part in who we are today. What we do is you go, hey, listen, come on board, okay? You're a bit skeptical about, I've lost count how many people go, this is impossible, you can't do it. I start tomorrow with you, but this is impossible. And 3 days later, holy shit, what have you done to me? Come on board. Try a session of our 9-dimensional, the company's breathbox.studio. Come on board, I'll pay for the session, don't worry. If you haven't changed during that session, you're not getting it. And we probably don't need you to get it. But change. If you're believing in, or don't believe in neuroscience and science behind it, one session will change your mind completely about what. And hey, listen, how sanctimonious would I be if I didn't have, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll give it one go and see what happens. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. But I'll tell you something with the 9-dimensional subliminal message. It's a software, you put headphones on and a blackout mask, and there's 9 subliminal messages from all around you, hitting you all the time while you listen to music, because we want to get the vibration right, so you're ready to accept. And the main voice over it, the guiding you in your pathways to change, the hypothalamus, basal ganglia, amygdala, central nervous system, attitude will change one session. We have 53 sessions, but during one session, you will start to understand that alcohol has 1% to do with alcoholism. Food, sex, porn, business, selling this has 1% to do of what you're doing. Selling tissues, it's not the product, it's you. And once we change this, then you can go out and change the world. I mean, I don't care it doesn't matter. It's you as a human being across your 30, 40 years of their life that's hung around with the wrong people, learned behavior. Here's a prime example. After all my experience and everything that I do, I'm in Dallas. Came over 20 years ago. I did 16 years in Dallas. I'm saying to my friends and stuff around me, thinking of writing a book, Most of them said, Chris, don't be silly. You can't write a book. You're not an author. And I think most of them were jealous, and the others were like, yeah, you can't do that. Never wrote a book. And I came to San Antonio 4 years ago. I got some new friends now. And I said, I'm thinking of writing a book. And they was like, what do you mean you've not wrote a book? Are you insane? What's wrong with you, Rob? I wrote a book, Chris. So show me your friends, I'll show you your future. If we hang around the wrong guys, if I hang around 9 depressed people, I will become the 10th. Hang around the people that you want to be. See, I can go back to the streets of Manchester and I can help people. I just can't live there anymore. I've moved on. And the belief that people will try and drag you back, guys. Yeah. They'll try to drag you back into it because, again, people that love you and people that want to be you. That's all there is in this world. And it's your responsibility. It's your job, whether you believe in God, Uncle Jimmy, or whatever. It's your job to do this, to live to your full potential, and then go out and train a bunch of people around you to live to their full potential. And your community will be so powerful, like every day. So when I come in the office, we have loud music on first thing in the morning because nobody's here. Sometimes it's rap music. Everybody coming through that front door has to be dancing on the way in. You got to be doing some sort of crazy dance on the way in. We're always complimenting each other. I'm always taking people out for lunch. Fridays, Feel Good Fridays, I pay for all my staff to go out, haircuts, nails done, massage, whatever they want with patience. It's that atmosphere of people can't wait to get here because nobody else out there, everyone's too busy, man. Nobody's taking time to do this. I bless people monetarily every time I leave the house. One, because I'm blessed enough to. Two, and shit, I'd rather be giving $5,000 out today than it's sat in my safe for the next year. What the hell's that? What's that all about? Do you know, when you bless somebody, monetary compliments, time with them, you change a life. But guess what? You get to go through that change while you're there with them. Yeah, say you're gifting them a sandwich or something. You get to go through that intimate, maybe it brings back a memory or not, that intimate few minutes with that guy where you have just changed. And if you don't think this is possible, guys, the next time you're out in a built-up area of people, sneakers are always the best. When you're walking out there, everyone's around enjoying, look for somebody walking towards you with decent sneakers, nice sneakers on. And I want you to say 2 words as you walk past him. Nice sneakers. And he's going to go, oh, thank you, man. Turn round and watch him walk away from you. He's going to look down at them sneakers 2 or 3 times. You've just changed his world. But guess what? When he goes home to the girlfriend or wife, because he's in a great mood, now she's in a great mood, and then the mother in court, and you get the gist. That's how we change the world. One person at a time. If you're not changing lives on a daily basis, pack it all in, man, because you're not doing the world any good.
That's pretty similar to a phrase we have around here called people who feel good about themselves are going to produce better results.
Yes.
And you literally just walk that through, the whole thing. You definitely have built yourself a reputation as a no BS speaker and motivator. How important is that personal brand that you develop? How important is that when selling services like with what you do? How important is the personal brand part?
I think it's 100%. I mean, everybody, I don't care what you're selling, guys. You're not selling the stuff, you're selling you. And part of you is your brand. So if you're living every day your brand, if you've got, Gary Brecker told me this when he worked for 10X. In his contract with 10X, he was told that every single time he leaves the house, you have to have a 10X shirt on. I don't care if you're going for dinner with your best friends you wear a 10X shirt all the time. And that's the philosophy we have. You are your brand. You carry your brand. So if you're in a supermarket unshaven, stupid jumper on, flip-flops, and you meet somebody, that somebody could have been really important in your life because nobody knows. No, you've got to live and breathe this. You've got to love it. You've got to be passionate about your brand. I mean, I love my brand. And to be honest with you, we really don't have to sell. People come to us and go, oh my God, I've spent $1 million on treatment. I don't know. We want to be your last call. We will send people away. You've
created a mousetrap. You've created word of mouth, law of attraction, where people are just coming to you now.
Yes. And I think for me as a brand as well, my grandfather told my mom to tell me, because he died before I was born, that work so hard that you never have to introduce yourself in certain circles. And that's where I find myself today. He's like, now the flip side to that is I've been on TV programs with millions of people, I work with movie stars, all that stuff. You have to have somebody in your team or in your brand around you that keeps you grounded. Because it's very easy to step off this is a true story, step off a private jet, get into a luxury limousine, drive to a luxury 5-star hotel, go to the studio next day and record at Paramount Studios, which I did on several occasions. But one of the occasions, you start to believe that stuff. And one day I came off stage, the filming was done, and I said to my wife, where's my chauffeur? Oh, my wife's a real quiet lady, but she's a Southern lady, man. And it's the only time she's hit me, she slapped me across the face. And she said, if I ever hear you talk like that again, this marriage is over. And it's important you have people that are around, because as you get more successful, as you get more wealthy, as you bless more people and build stuff for the family, you can get caught in all that Hollywood stuff. And you know this, Chris, as well. You can't you've got to have someone around going, no, you're not doing that, Rob. That's not you. You got to be truthful to your brand and to yourself. But we sell ourselves every day to people, sell people the brand, not necessarily me. Because here's my dream, Chris. When I when I retire-ish, I'll always do patients, I want this brand to go on without me, if that makes sense. So the Robb Kelly group is pretty, it's Robb Kelly. We all know that. I want to step away from that, but the brand stay. And many people have done it where the person steps away, but the brand is still strong. That's what I would like. So yeah, very, very important, but easily done.
And do you have are you building your team around you for that now? Are those for the brand to continue as if you ever choose to slow it down a little bit? Are those people in your hemisphere already?
Already.
Take it and run?
Yeah. Yeah, they have been for several years. I've got the girl who's my personal assistant. I've got her job. She's going to be CEO. And the people around me have all got positions when I step away. I always do telehealth work. Our dream is the beach house on the beach, which we've give ourselves 3 years and then we're out. We've got everything we need. So, everything's in place. I have 4 businesses. So, here's the thing I want to mention. So you can't do anything you want to do. You can't blame. This is a true story. We open offices here. We open Breathbox, which is the 9D thing, as a separate company, but it's in this office. I always wanted to build something like a British restaurant because I was sick to going into Irish pubs and not one Irishman there. So I always think at the back of my head. So no experience whatsoever in the restaurant business. Brought my sister over and her husband. None of us had experience, Chris. And we opened an English restaurant next to my office. It's called the Old English Tea Shop. And we do fish and chips and afternoon tea and all that stuff. No experience, guys. 11, 12 months ago, we're 12% up. This is what our software, Toast is called, that all the restaurants use. We're 12% up on most of our people, all of our people on that software. We're 12% up on profits, and 122 restaurants in San Antonio and surrounding areas have closed down in the last 14, 15 months. We believed we could do it. And all of us come in and we all did the 9D and I all give them sessions and we all got together as a team and we opened it. Again, don't let people tell you or dictate your life. I don't think you can do it. Just remember the 2 words. Says who?
Says who.
And they won't say anything else after that.
Amazing. Hey team, are you looking to elevate your professional and personal life in the heart of Nashville? Well, since 1957, the Nashville City Club has been the city's premier private membership club, offering an exceptional experience in fine dining, networking, and memorable events. As a member, you'll enjoy top-tier networking opportunities, business development events, mentoring programs, social mixers, and signature holiday celebrations. The club's private dining room serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner in a professional yet relaxed environment featuring menus crafted by Nashville's top culinary professionals. Members enjoy personalized concierge services, including bookings for concerts, events, sports, and dining reservations. Additionally, the club offers discounted private event spaces for personal and professional gatherings, accommodating over 200 guests at a time. We are located at 200 South 2nd Avenue. The Nashville City Club provides a versatile environment that serves as both a home away from home and an extension of your office. The warmth of the staff, the energy of the city, and the pride of the community are felt instantly upon arriving. Join us for this thriving community of Nashville's most respected and accomplished citizens. Apply for membership today and experience the unparalleled benefits the Nashville City Club has to offer. For more information or to start your application, visit nashvillecity.com or email info@nashvillecity.com. Let's talk about your 97% success rate, which is extraordinary. How do you measure the outcomes and how do you hold your business accountable to that standard over time?
So we constantly, for 10 years, will keep in contact with every patient, every entrepreneur, stuff like that. So we have our backtrack records with everybody. Now, we may be calling you once every month, once every 6 months as the time goes out, once a year, but we're constantly checking on how the people that we've worked with have done, because you're not a client or patient that leaves, you're part of the family. People think that's amazing and you care. We do care and we want to see how well, but it also backs up the figures of its 98%. We tested last week, 98% success rate. Now people automatically say that's bullshit. And I say, says who? communication with people that's gone through your life. I will get phone numbers of guys that are begging on the corner, gas station. I'll get their phone number and I'll give them a little bit of money and I'll call them up. How are you doing today? I'm crazy like that. But it's just constant care, constant communication. We'll send them texts every birthday or, like something like, it's not 11,000 over the years, but there's probably 3,000 people that we're doing right now that we're sending. They will drop off as time goes by. Many of them say, I'm too busy. I love the way you're doing it, but don't do it anymore. I'm good. I'll let you know if anything happens. But yeah, it's just that authenticity and the really caring and being passionate about what we do. It's like the work here is hard. The work here, whether you're a podcaster, is hard. But what you do after that is the important part. And we could teach you anything in the world to do with all the tools we have. But if you don't execute that after you leave us, that's why we trace. What have you done today? That website was going, how many hits have you had? How many actions have you? Well, then we have the pep talk. I don't give a damn, you blah, 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 blah. You get back on it today, da, 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 da. Next minute they call me and going, oh my God, I'm glad you did that. Because you're never gone from this company. You will always be part of our family. And we have a big family across England and the US. And it's just, that's what I do. Well, have I got time for that? Well, there's 22 of us here, I'm sure somebody can pick up a freaking phone and see how you're doing. Yeah. Again, changing lives. And something else, Chris? When we call or text them, I bet 80% of them go, oh my God, I'm so, you just text at the right time, man. It's unbelievable how that happens.
So what I hear there's a barrier to entry to join your team. They've got to get through an assessment, or the team members you've got have had to have a journey of their own. But once you're on the team, you're on the team.
You're on the team. Yeah. There's very little turnover in staff and patients. It's just amazing because they think we're the best thing in the world. But it's like every company can do this. But if you look at the man hours we spend on doing stuff like that, there's no money in that. Right. So people don't. We had to do our own research on everything, Chris, because nobody else was doing it because there's no money in it, which is wrong. You can. Yeah. We capitalized on a model that was broken. We capitalized on that about 15 years ago. It was broken, and I knew it was broken, and everybody laughed at us. When I first came here, Chris, 20 years ago, they stripped me of my license to practice because They said, oh my God, you're teaching voodoo or woo-woo. It took me 6 months to get that license back. Now, here's the crazy thing. I lecture to those people today on addiction and stuff like Alzheimer's. We've just started doing some Alzheimer's work. Incredible results so far. It's like, this is my life, and the people around me are passionate, just if not more sometimes than I am, because you make them feel part of the company. Their decisions that they want to make on the company, I execute 9 out of 10 times. If you can, as a businessman, if you can get your staff to buy into the company as if they kindly part own it, then you've got a staff member for life, man. Yeah. And again, there goes for patients and clients that come, there goes the word of mouth. Oh my God, that's the best form of advertising you can get. We've never paid for advertising. I've never paid to be on. I think I'm on Rogan in December. I've never paid to go on a podcast. Authenticity and let's save a life, man. That's what it's all about. And give stuff away. I'm going to give a book away in a minute before we finish. I'm going to give it free of charge. Don't buy it off Amazon. I'll sign it if you're in the US. I'll sign it on there. You can have everything free. Just give it to somebody else when you're done. But don't buy it off Amazon. Even though every dime of that book, not profits. There's a difference. Watch out for that one. All the profits, no. Every dime spent on that, I have no idea what's spent on it, goes straight out into the communities. And here's an example of what we do. 25% of our work is pro bono. $150,000 and 25% of the company's takings, we're a multi-million-dollar company, go back out to helping people less fortunate, helping people who has a business idea but haven't got the funds. Here's one we did the other day. We had a dad who was a drunk, and the wife, they'd split up and they were fighting over custody for the children. What we did is we hired a legal team for him. We paid for an apartment for 12 months. We bought him a new suit. We bought him all his stuff, children's toys, and we went to court with him. I went to court with him, and we sat there, and the judge called him me, and I was giving the praises that this is what it's like. Then he got his kickback every Saturday. And that's what we do. we don't cure it. We don't treat the disease as such. We reunite families is the best way of putting, and we build entrepreneurs. And I never let anybody who come to me say they want to start a business because they're small thinking. We're going to start an empire is what we're going to start. And it starts here.
How do you, when you're investing in these other budding entrepreneurs or mentoring these folks or investing in startups, what are you looking for to make you say this is worth it? This is a worthwhile venture?
We don't invest as such as in capital. We invest in time when we're working with them. And we have lots of business guys here, but everything is the brain. Everything is the brain. What we learn out there on being an entrepreneur is 1% to do of what's going on in here. So we remap, we reprogram, we redivert, we do all this amazing stuff which the behavior and central nervous system will follow. There's loads of stuff we don't do, like the oxygen, the water, all this stuff that we're lacking that decreases our capability as a human being, and our performance goes right down the drain for the smallest things pertaining to the mind and the brain. Let me give you an example. When we wake up in the morning, on a normal circadian sleep pattern, between the hours of 2 and 5 o'clock is where the body is at its rest. Like the breathing is really low. It's when most people die of natural causes as well. So when we wake up in the morning, our body is in a hypoxic state. The subconscious mind loves the hypoxic state. So when we wake up, boom, there's the subconscious brain just woke us up. This is not a good guy. This is the guy that's going to want you to fail, that waste of time, imposter syndrome, all that. This is that guy that wakes us up. So when we do our morning work, what happens is we snuff out the subconscious and in comes the conscious brain. When this guy's running that day, because the 24 hours at a time is not an AA thing, certain parts of the brain reset during that time pattern every 24 hours. But this guy, the conscious brain, is running, okay, the day, which is amazing. This guy here, if you haven't done your trauma, is constantly scouring for something to go wrong that he could dive on straight away. So you might be able to do 99 things correct that day, but one thing you don't. That's why we ask people to create lists and check them off as we go. The subconscious brain will strike in again. You've got to keep that guy at bay. It's 100% possibly done. We do it every single day with thousands of people. Once we do that, we wake up, we get the oxygen inside us, you're a different human being. Most people breathe about 40% of oxygen capacity. If you think about, that's not how we're supposed to breathe. If you go to the gym or running and everything, oh, fantastic. It's not the exercise, guys. It's not the running per se. It's this. That's why you feel so good. Can you imagine doing 20 exaggerated breaths in and out as soon as you wake up? It's a game changer, an absolute game changer. The presence of oxygen equals the lack of disease. Every single disease in the human body, whether it be cancer or whatever, starts in a hypoxic area of the body.
Wow. So the breath work is just as important as the brain spotting work, or they just work together? Or tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about what brain spotting is also.
So brain spotting has not been around that long, maybe 10, 12 years or something, maybe more. Don't quote me, guys. But it's basically, you have to be trained. You have to get a license to do it. It's basically watching for eyes flickering with, you have this tool that we use. And basically you sat there watching this tool, head still, eyes moving. And what we found is you can do this for 30 seconds or you can do this for 20 minutes with nothing happening. And all of a sudden the eye will flicker, the pupil will flicker. That is a direct message from the subconscious brain that needs a memory attaching to that. So we will stay in that position and you'll be looking at this device, this pen or wand or something, and it all goes quiet. And you stay there, man, and just say, let me know if anything comes up for you. I've stayed there an hour sometimes. Wow. Mostly it's a couple of minutes. And then all of a sudden something pops in their head when the father was molesting them when they were 6 years old. That's the stuff that needs to come out.
Are those things that they had suppressed and forgotten about that all of a sudden come back up, or? Well,
the brain, especially the subconscious mind, the brain protects itself for our own life. It protects us with the memories like that. So everything you hear, touch, feel from birth is stored in the subconscious brain. Don't let anybody tell you different. It's stored in the subconscious brain, and it will fester and stay there until its time is right to release something. It's going to ruin your day. And it sits there very patiently. With the 9D, the brain spotting, and the neuro-linguistic programming, you've got to stop into the subconscious brain. You've got to start releasing some of that stuff, because it's always going to be there. I spoke in California a couple of years ago, and there was 1,000 people there. There was exactly 1,000 because he had to click them in for safety reasons. Now, I was told to put an hour or two after, because people are going to come over, shake your hand and stuff. 999 people, Chris, was praising, oh, you are unbelievable. And one guy came up. He said, you were too loud, you looked angry, and I didn't enjoy that. Have a guess who I concentrated on the way home? The one person. And if you look in, guys listening, if you look in your life, that's what you do. We don't take the attaboys. We don't take the, you've done really well, because nobody tells anybody anymore. When's the last time somebody, hey, do you know, I want to tell you, John, like, you did a great job, man. I mean, that was just, we don't do that as a society. And of course, COVID kicks that on their head. I was in Dallas, the office, about 4 or 5 years ago, and a guy came in, he was suicidal. The staff and the nurses were all, you know, oh my God, Dr. Robb, he's suicidal. What should we do? He came in with me for an hour. He walked out. He's high-fiving the nurses, and he's hugging the nurses, and he's in a great mood. And one young nurse, we've just started there, she said to one of the older nurses, did you see what Dr. Robb just did there with that guy? And she says, I know. She says, oh my God, it's absolutely amazing. It's a miracle. And the other girl said, I know. Have you told him that? Oh, I mean, yeah, he already knows. Nobody knows, guys. I want to really take that away. Nobody knows. We've got to start telling people. We've got to start complimenting people, lifting people up. There's enough people who want to put us down. If us as leaders, entrepreneurs, and recovered alcoholics, if we can't stick together with doing this, man, there's no hope for the human race, man. We change people every day, but you've got to get rid of this stuff in the back that's going to kill you. The idea of the subconscious brain is to kill you and make it look like an accident.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
You've got to be conscious, got to be living in the now. We only have now. Oh, that's a bit of but. No, well, yesterday, it's finished. Tomorrow, you might not even meet. Do you know how many people yesterday, guys, had plans for today who died? And there's a story I always tell. It's this kid goes to the Golden Gate Bridge, he throws himself off and commits suicide. The police pull him out of the water. They find his ID and they go back to his apartment looking for next of kin. What they found on the kitchen table was a letter. And I've been saying this, so I know exactly what it says because I've told so many people so many times. It read, I'm going to walk to the Golden Gate Bridge. It was an hour's walk, Chris. And I'm going to throw myself off the Golden Gate Bridge and commit suicide. Unless, on the way, somebody smiles at me, says good morning, winks, nods at me, I will stop right there. I will turn around and I will give this life thing a try again tomorrow. Question to guys. How many people have you walked past today who's heading to the Golden Gate Bridge? See, you never know, guys. You will never know you've saved a life. You will never know you've just, suicide, all this bad stuff. You will never know that you've done that. But it's not our job to know that. It's our job to be... My father died on a Thursday and I do a book study to the homeless on a Sunday. He died on Thursday night. I was in bits Friday. When I went there Saturday, did the book study with about 100 people there, I killed it again. I killed it every time. And when I come off, my friend walked over and said, you okay, Rob? I said, yeah, my father died. He went, what? Oh my God, why? Have you told anybody? It's not my job to go into that meeting and piss everybody off and make people sad because my father had died. That's why God gave me therapists and best friends. I'm not going to go in and bring you down because of my personal journey or what's happened in my personal life. That's not my job. I need you going away from me, whether you're working with me or whether you pass me in the street, a better person than when I met you. That's my job today. I don't get involved in all the money and I don't deal with that stuff. I have no idea how much I earn, I don't get involved with that. If I can change your life today, I've done my job, guys. And you can do the same, whether you're earning $10 a month or $1 million a month. Don't follow the money, guys. Entrepreneurs, stop following the money. If you believe in what you do, and I lecture to the guys now that took my license off me, I lecture to those guys. So never be put off. Never anybody tell you what you can't do or what you are capable of doing. Always be nice. Always be smiling no matter what you're going through. It makes no difference. And you will change the world, man. I'm telling you, you will. And if you've got a problem, that's why God gives us sponsors and therapists and doctors and best friends. Go and speak to them and do it. But don't let anybody in front of you, because you never know what they're going through. And your woe story about what you've been through, okay, might just kill them. So just be careful, man.
Strong words, Dr. Robb.
Boom, baby. That's what we're talking about.
Strong words, Dr. Robb. This has been amazing. How do people that are watching and listening, how do they learn more about your programs and connect with your team?
So if you are listening, not watching, guys, I spell my name with 2 B's, ROBBKELLY.com. I'll put Dr. Robb in any search engine around the world. Up I'll pop. All the socials, come to the website first. You'll see our 9D there. You'll see the restaurant there. You'll see all the fun things that we do. Come friend us, come and like us. But I want to do something that I only do on podcasters that are really good. And I'm not being facetious when I say that. There's a book out there. It's called Daddy, Daddy, Please Stop Drinking. It's the last thing my daughter said to me at 3 years old when they took them off me. Okay. Message Chris or I will send you a free book and all that great stuff. But
well, I certainly appreciate that. That is super generous.
Oh, one more thing, Chris. My daughter was taken from me 3 years old. I never seen her. 30 years on, which was about 4 years ago, I got a message and in the middle of the night. Now I've got to answer every call. That's just my job. And I looked at it and it was my daughter. It was my eldest daughter after 30 years. And Chris, she called me Dad.
Oh, my God.
She says, hey, Dad, it's been too long. I don't believe what Mum was telling me, all that stuff. He says, can we see you? Can I see you? So we have people around us, obviously. So within 4 hours, we're on a plane back there, Chris, to England. We get in late. We stay overnight in a hotel just around the corner from her house. We walk into her house, Chris. I'm crying, I'm shaking, and all that bad stuff's coming back. What kind of father was you? All that stuff. We get to the door. My wife's holding me up because I'm just so nervous, man. And I couldn't knock. And she opened the door quickly, and we hugged and we laughed. What felt like 10 hours was probably 20 seconds. And then she took my hand. Listen carefully, guys. She took my hand and she led me into her living room. And she handed me my 3-month-old granddaughter. That girl right there, my daughter, is now my lead therapist in my Manchester office today. Everything comes back if you do that. Everything comes back.
Full circle.
Full circle, man.
Resilience, don't give up, do the best you can do, surround yourself with the right people, get the help when you need it, keep going. What a story you've created and an outlet to share with so many people. This has been amazing for me.
Oh, thank you, man.
I really appreciate you joining us today. And the message is, I hear it as one of hope, but also not just hope. There are action steps to take to make it happen versus just relying on hope. So what a gift. What a gift you are.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I really feel that.
Well, I appreciate you. This has been great. And we're over here in Nashville. We're over here in Music City, USA, and we've got a ton of creatives who are all over the place in their own head, and a ton of entrepreneurs that are all over the place in their own head. And
send them my way.
I will definitely send them your way. And Dr. Robb is the real deal, guys. So Robb, I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate you spending time with us.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Well, guys, that's a wrap for today. We thank you a ton for listening and looking forward to the next episode where we'll continue this journey on how becoming corporate enough can put you in your highest productivity zone to create a successful, profitable, and purpose-driven business for you.